It's a cloudy, rainy midsummer's type of day here in Seoul, South Korea. I hope the weather won't impact my Qatar Airways Qsuite flight on board their Airbus A350 this evening. Hello, YouTube travelers, and welcome to the Gentleman of Fortune channel. Join me on my travels around the world, and together we'll review the latest in-flight and lounge offerings, find out how various airlines' first and business class products stack up, and sample their catering and indulge in their finest champagnes. Together, we'll experience the best of the best, and maybe some more obscure ones as well. So be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you won't miss a thing. And now I invite you to sit back and relax as we get this next review underway. After a brief interlude at the new One World Lounge here at Incheon International Airport, I've made it to the gate for my flight on this rain-soaked night. So let's head on board. This will be my home for the next several hours on my way to Doha, Qsuite 2J. Waiting at my seat, a variety of pillows and blankets, including this little one, which features advertisements for their destination, Cape Town. There's also a lumbar pillow, as well as the famous plush Qatar Airways blanket. Now exploring around our little enclave, you can see we'll have plenty of privacy on this evening's flight, with high walls in the back. Over here, there's a personal reading light, which is adjustable with several settings. There's also a small knob for a coat hanger, although the positioning makes it a little bit awkward. Waiting for me on the side table is a pair of pajamas, and you can see that they've got F1 branding to highlight the partnership that Qatar Airways has with them. There's also a nice looking amenity kit and some diptyque refreshing hand towels. Directly in front of my seat is a generously sized TV screen. There's also a little bit of additional storage space below the countertop where they've left me food and beverage menus for this evening's flight. And just below that, you can see a whole slew of buttons, such as the Do Not Disturb light for your Qsuite, lighting, and seat controls. Down below that, there's a literature pocket with the safety information card, as well as information on the Qsuite itself. You can also see the headphone jack, as well as a universal and USB charging outlet. And proceeding forward around the corner, you have the IFE remote control. In front of me and below the TV screen is the footwell, where I have my backpack stored for the moment. There are overhead bins, but since I'll be sleeping a lot on tonight's flight, for security's sake, I prefer to keep that close at hand. Directly above the footwell is the tray table. Let's pull that out and take a look at that. As you can see, slides out and then it folds over to increase in size. This provides a good sized surface for dining or getting work done. Additionally, there's one more storage compartment on the side of the seat where the headphones were stored, as well as a water bottle. Before long, the beleaguered yet still amicable flight attendant brought me a welcome drink of champagne, which I greatly appreciated. Outside on the ramp, the loading of the aircraft continues despite worsening conditions. As it looks like we'll have a few more minutes here on the ground, let's take a look at the menus, starting with the beverage menu. And here's a look at the onboard dining options on this evening's flight. As I mentioned earlier, waiting for me at the seat was a nice amenity kit in a black leather pouch branded diptyque. Now apparently I deleted the original footage of this. Either that or I forgot completely to make a video. Either way, I had to re-accomplish it in the hotel room afterwards. With that confession out of the way, let's take a look at what we've got inside. First up, we've got this promotional materials from Diptyque. Then we've got this little bag of goodies here. Let's take a look and see what's in that. There's a Diptyque sticker on it. See if I can open this with one hand. All right. So first up, we've got this little tube of nourishing lip balm. Then we've got this comparatively larger tube of lotion, fresh lotion for the body. And then we've got this essential face cream. Looks like that's it for this little paper bag. Let's see what else is in the actual amenity kit. Now we've got this elongated little box here. You can see it's eau de toilette, also from Diptyque. And here's the little vial out of the box. Try to get some contrast so you can see it. There you go. We've next got a pair of black socks, and yes, inside of that there's also a eye mask and a little bag of earplugs. Let's take a look at the eye mask and see if it's branded. I suspect that it will be here. Sure enough, we've got a Qatar Airways branded eye mask. And that's basically all that we've got in our amenity kit, but a pretty nice little amenity kit for business. You can see it says it's Diptyque for Qatar Airways. So here's an overview of everything that was in the bag. Finally, it's time to push back from the gate, and the camera under the belly gives us a view of the action. As you can see, the inclement weather persists, and I'm very thankful to be inside where I'm dry and comfortable. And with both of the engines now started, we're capable of making our way to the runway under our own power. After a relatively short taxi, we've taken the runway and we're ready for departure. Shortly after takeoff, the flight attendants came back around to provide a snack and a drink while the main meal was being prepared. For my main meal, I elected to have the beef burger on the brioche bun. It was a nice late-night snack to tide me over on this very late evening flight. With the meal service efficiently completed, it's time to make the bed and try to get a little bit of sleep. The flight attendant graciously prepared the bed for me, and as you can see, it's very inviting. Now that I'm comfortably tucked into my fully flat bed, you can see that I have plenty of privacy with the Qsuite signature door, and there's plenty of room for my feet in that footwell. Now it's time for me to turn off the lights and get a little bit of shut-eye. I slumbered peacefully and slept all the way across China and awoke over East Pakistan. I guess I'm dating myself. I think we call it Bangladesh these days. As we still have quite a ways to go before Doha, I ordered a cheese plate for a little snack, as well as something to tide me over on the drink front. About 2 hours before landing, the flight attendants came around and offered breakfast service to those who were interested, but they conscientiously kept the lighting in the cabin down low for those that were still trying to sleep some more. I ordered and enjoyed the hand-rolled ricotta omelet, as well as the pastry basket that they brought, and a nice cappuccino. Well, as the flight's coming to a close, I've decided to change back into my clothes and try to beat the rush, which inevitably happens as we start the top of descent. Here in the Airbus A350 business class lavatory, you can see it's not terribly huge, but it's nicely appointed, and they have quite a few drawers worth of amenities that you can use. One thing that I've not noticed before is that wet wipe or moist towelette dispenser. There's also a window in the lavatory for those who want to enjoy the view at 30,000 feet. It's pretty dark out there right now, so nothing to see. And over on the aft wall, there is a changing table which folds down, as well as a more or less full-length mirror, so you can check your outfit. Well, that pretty much covers the lav. I'm going to change and head back to my seat. And waiting for me at my seat when I returned, another one of those refreshing towelettes from Diptyque. As we make our final approach into Doha's Hamad International Airport, I once again take advantage of the beautiful cameras that they have on the Airbus A350. As we touch down, you can see some of the lights from Banana Island just offshore from the airport there. We have a relatively smooth touchdown and taxi to the gate, bringing this flight to a conclusion. Well, there you go. A fairly short and sweet, compact review of Qatar Airways Qsuites. I think I've done it before, but it's been a while, so I hope you enjoyed seeing this. I hope you found it interesting and entertaining. If you did, please leave a like, and if you haven't already, I would appreciate it if you considered subscribing. Of course, it helps the channel out. As I always say, until the next video, safe travels. Now it's time for me to head to the lounge.